Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Steel Division guide. We were going over one of my favorite decks, Third Mech. We'll go over the team version first. This is my team deck, which is 3v3s, 4v4s, your 10v10s if you want. And then I'll go over my 1v1 version, which I also use for 2v2s, and kind of talk about the strengths and weaknesses of this deck and why I like it. So let's jump into it. So let's just go over the units first, and then we can go over the comp. First of all, Recon wise, you have a lot of options. First of all, you get these beautiful Rozetkas. I don't know how to say it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to butcher every single Russian term. I don't speak Russian. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with it at all. Anyway, these guys come with a bazooka, so can't go wrong. You can bring them both in A and B. You also get some snipers. You know, it's a one-person sniper team, though, so be wary of that. A little more fragile, a little bit less availability. Let's get these little motorbikes, which there's actually no reason to bring because they don't even carry radios, so don't ever bring them. Get your normal Recon squad. You can bring them in pretty good variety of different stuff. Yeah, you can bring them in different carriers as well. But it's just your Recon. You can even bring them with the little, armored personnel carrier if you really wanted to as well. Getting crewed by invisible people and there's no interior. That's lovely. You also get your carrier, Dushka, if you want. If you're curious. Get your beautiful more infantry, just some Recon squad. This guy has a little less variety of what you can bring him in. But you can bring him in the carrier if you want. This carrier carries one little Bren gun, a little British vehicle. You can bring him Valentine's if you want. Really good frontal armor, 80. Pretty slow though. Look at that speed, guys. So you could walk faster than this thing. And you get T-34s if you want as well. So the Recon tab is strong. Moving over to the Infantry tab. This is where it's so much fun. They get this unique unit, guys. My God, I cannot speak today. It's been a long day. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but pretty much they're partisans, I believe. They come with Molotov, so they're absolutely gods in CQC combat because of this. They throw their Molotov faster than people can throw their satchel charge, so you can do some pretty good damage with them. And pairing them with other like Superior and stuff, you'll just mow people down. You get some Gavari DP, get your Sipari as well. You can bring all of these guys. These guys are phase locked to A. But you can bring Gavari DP in both A, B, and C. Same with Superior as well. You get 2 cards of Superior. You also get these Superior wasteful unit. Do not bring these ever. I don't know why you would ever bring them. Just don't bring them. You can also get Tensaniki as well. They can come in the half tracks. If you want to bring them in half tracks, you're going to have to take them in A because they're only 6 half tracks. Which will increase the price substantially because they are 15 points. But they have a 50 cal. They're completely worth it. You also get Otomochiki if you want. You have 3 cards of it if you want. So kind of crazy. Actually, you have a 3rd card of Superior. I am wrong there. I'm sorry about that. Leader-wise, you get 2 types of Gavari 2. You get Gavari DP and Gavari with the anti-tank grenade. The difference being one has an AT rifle. The one with the AT rifle gets an extra machine gun. The one with the anti-tank grenade is cheaper and has 1 less machine gun. So those are the pros of that. Leader-wise, you get some pretty good variety as well in this department. You get your leaders here, just 2-man squad, pretty cheap, dies pretty quickly. You get them both in A and B, 4 and 6. You also get this DP squad if you want, a double defensive. I'm not sure why you bring these guys. They're 15 points, they're 6-man squad, but I don't believe they're worth it. But that's, up to the beholder of whoever's making decisions. You also bring this leader unit, a little bit bigger, a little better availability, 4 and 8. Comes with a, Panzer Fast if you really want to. You moving down the Leon line though, get another leader. This guy's, I recommend this one. 4, 8, 12. Carries a smoke, and I just think smoke's better. Just because if your leader gets spotted, you can just throw down smoke on yourself. If you want a little bit beefier leader squad, who carries smoke as well, only phase lock to A, you can bring this partisan leader squad. And if you want a sniper with your leader, with an anti-tank grenade, you can bring these guys. Be wary though, if you want your leaders a little bit in the rear line and not engaging, this unit will not be doing that. The sniper rifle will be firing at 1,000 meter range. And also, look at that mustache. Look at that mustache. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's got a... This is so random. Like, nobody else has that. Well, why does that guy have a mustache? Well, anyway. Moving down the line, though, to the tank tab. The tank tab's awesome. Not much variety, but it's awesome. Guess what? You get Shermans, more Shermans, and more Shermans. And they call it the Emcha. I think that's how you say it in Russian. You get A, B, and C. You get 5, 10, 15. Availability wise, double vetting is not too bad. The double vet, you lose a lot of tanks. So 1 vet, you just lose 1. Double vet, you lose 2. You can bring a leader card. You get 2 leader cards. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards of Shermans if you want to bring them. You get some Valentines too, a little bit cheaper alternative. Yeah, they have a lot of armor, but they're slow. And be wary, these Shermans are pretty fast actually. Road speed 48, a little bit faster than the like second ID Shermans and some of the third armor Shermans, not all of them, just because they're a different model. These 50 cals in the Shermans destroy everybody. It's true. I mean, you can't go wrong with Sherman guys. They're gods at CQC in close quarters and support. They just destroy. Don't engage them in mech range with anything. They'll die. They can only start shooting at 1500 range, I believe. Yeah, right there. But let's be real, they're not going to hit anything. I mean, they're not going to, it's not about hitting, they're not going to penetrate anything. Their penetration is only 90. They have 100 armor, which is pretty good actually, and they bounce pretty well. Support tab wise, you get your awesome. You get MG42s in this deck. They're phase locked to A. You get 5 of them. They're really good. I recommend them in 1v1s. We'll get to that later. Get your SG43s if you're feeling it. You get to 50mm mortars, flamethrowers, plenty of ammo, 3 types of commanders, infantry commander with a sniper rifle, just because why not? You get your M2 command vehicle as well, and then if you want, you can bring the M3 command vehicle. What are the difference, you may ask? Well, let's be real. There's only one you're going to bring, and it's going to be the one with the more armor. Why? Because the road speed, it's actually faster, and it has more armor, so it can take more, like, I feel like it takes more damage when, like, artillery's around and stuff. So bring the M3A1 like Combati. Like that one's better. Like, why bring the worst one? Like, they're same price too. I don't understand. And it's faster. Anti-tank wise is awesome. This is even better. Okay, so you get this, AT rifle squad if you want. Only 5 points. Phase lock comes in this slow transport, but you can bring it if you vet them in the little faster transport. They come with smoke. But I actually don't recommend this one. I recommend you bring the PTRS 41s. These guys feel more consistent. I don't know what it is. You bring the fast transports, and this is going to be more... We'll talk about this a little more in 1v1s, because this is where you're going to bring them. Panda Trek-wise, you also get some Panda Treks, which is kind of unique. A lot of Russian decks don't get that. Get your nice little light M42 AT guns. APCR round, actually pretty good. 1,000 meters, 100 penetration. Will mess up Panzer IVs. At 1250, 1200, not that much penetration. But the good thing is these also have HE, so that's really good. You also get the SU-76s. They have APCR. They're cheap. They're cost efficient. You also get the unique commander one, or like ace one, which is kind of cool. You get both of the ZIS guns. You get 2 cards of the ZIS 57s, and get 1 card of the ZIS 76. These work as like artillery / AT guns. These are just clearly no HE rounds, just pure anti-tank, and these things are so cost efficient. 50 points. APCR around 1,000 meters, 185 penetration, so they can pen Panthers and Tigers, and even pretty good penetration with just a normal AP round. Let's get your SU-76s, APCR at 1,500 range, freaking amazing, 180. These things will pop Panthers, but be wary. At max range engagements, they don't tend to do well. You want to be very, like, they get penetrated all the time. Like, that 70 frontal armor does nothing when they start getting hit. AA-wise, you get these beautiful Dushkas. These things are trash. These things are trash A. Do you think these... Don't use these to protect your, like, anything, because they don't shoot aircraft down at all. They won't even suppress them until they fly deep into your lines and sit there for 5 minutes. That's for new players, though. The real A you're going to be bringing is your 2 cards of 37 mils. You can bring them both in A, B, and C. You can also bring these SU M17s, both in A and B, 2 to 4. Be wary of these things, though. They do not, I repeat, they do not shoot anything down. And the range is pretty abysmal for an AA gun. It's 1,800 meters, I believe, right? Well, it says 750, but it's 1,800, I think, like, on the map. The problem with this, guys, is that it just... it just doesn't shoot anything down, and it runs out of ammo instantly. It's really good to, like, sit next to your tanks and suppress, like, duck guns, clusters, things like that. But, like, high-altitude bombers stuff, dropping big payloads on you, like jet bombers and other things, it's not going to do anything. So yeah, moving on to the artillery tab, you have a couple things of choice here. Get these awesome mobile 82mm mortars. Why bring us, pay extra 5 points, guys. Pay that extra 5 points, and you can get a mobile mortar. You also get some leaders if you want in here. You get 1 card off map, really good off map, 152 mil. Bring them A, B, and C for availability of 1, 2, 3, and they fire 3 shots per car. You also get this rocket thing if you want. I don't really recommend it. It doesn't ever really perform, and the availability is pretty bad. Get some 120s if you want a 120 spam, but you have to waste a lot of ammo. And you also can get your beautiful, majestic, cheap F-22s, and you can bring them with ammo if you're feeling like you want to. But you don't really want to be artillerying in team games against other artillery decks with this deck. Not really the style. I think it's very aggressive play for this deck. Air-wise, you actually have some pretty good options. You get the Cobra here. You get one Cobra. That is it. The Cobra is an amazing fighter, but you only get 2 in A. You get pretty good availability up though. It goes 4 and then 8. Get the IL-2 bomber. This thing's a high altitude bomber. It drops a pretty big payload. Pretty tough. Very resilience is very good. So it can take a pounding. Get 2 cards of these. You also get the IL-4. Oh wait, they are both IL-4s, but this one comes with a 1,000 kilogram bomb. Even bigger payload. Get one of these. If you're looking like you want a Napalm Smurf, you can. You can bring with the Lag series. Pretty good. They're pretty fragile though. Resilience is bad. Like they die instantly to AA. That's like true to all these bombs. You get a 100 kilogram bomb, and then you can get a 50 kilogram bomb, and then you can bring the Lag cheap bombers. Oh wow, I got a lag spike there. Sorry, not bombers, fighters. And then you can get a recon plane if you're feeling it as well. And I think I mean, I don't want to speak on it because it's cancer, but like, I've seen some people bring the recon plane with the napalm and 1v1s and drop it. But we'll get to that a little later. Defense-wise, you bring your bunkers. And then now let's go check out, guys. Well, actually, before we go check out the 1v1, this deck, I think, is meant for very aggressive play, getting into the enemy's face and staying on them. You do not, in a team game, want to let people build up and dig in because you're going to get messed up. You don't have the artillery to counter battery. You just don't have it. You want to get nice and close to your Shermans and infantry and mess people up and trade well. So that's my opinion for this deck. I think it has plenty of offensive choices. But let's go look at the 1v1 version because a lot of people like that. Okay, so I'm going to give some of my opinions about this deck for 1v1s. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong. But we'll you just, take it with how it is, because everyone has their own play style. And you're just going to have to figure it out for yourself. But let me go over what I think's good and what I do and why. First of all, I bring the MG34s and flamethrowers. I just think they're really good. Why? Because flamethrowers can get you into really good positioning. So I think it's a must-take. MG42s are awesome as well. For locking down certain sections of the map in a 1v1. It's totally, I think, a must. You could also, if you're really feeling good about your AT tab, I do recommend you can bring the PTRSs. You bring them in this little vehicle. It's really fast. It's like that goes 100 kilometers. You can really stop, just lock down a road for the opener and pop some tanks. I recommend double vetting them. You're only going to buy 3, let's be real. You're not going to buy all of them, and you're going to want to make sure they hit the shots. And now that they've added it so that vehicles have to stop before they can unload units, it can really mess people up. First of all, Recon tab, it's an absolute must-take. Take the Bazooka Men. These make, even if you only bring one on the field and they see it, it will make people play completely different with their tanks and half-tracks and armor cars. It makes it play considerably more passive with them because they have the fear that they're going to lose some pretty heavy equipment to some pretty cheap stuff. These guys get thrashed in infantry combat. Do not use them to fight other grenadiers and panzer grenades and such on. They have to be supported. Must take is these Partizani troops. They're only 20 points. They come with 2 Molotovs. They're really great for CQC combat. I recommend one vetting all of your infantry except your Gavardi infantry. Bringing in leaders to give them the double vet. Pensaniki must take with the half tracks. These things are just freaking awesome. They come with Molotovs as well, so they destroy a lot of these pioneer units that are everywhere on the field, and also enemy superior units matches a lot of times as well. I recommend one vetting all your tanks. Look how many tanks I have. Well, it's a C event because 15 of them are coming in C just in case the game goes long. But I bring 2 cards in B, 3 in A. You could probably reduce this if you really want to. But for me, I feel that way. I feel like I need this many tanks, and maybe it's maybe it's a little too much actually looking back on it. But I want to make sure that at least in these phases I have a lot of tanks. I bring leaders as well. I usually open up, keep them in pairs, maybe even triplets. Because keeping those double vetted tanks on the field at all times is pretty scary thing. Sherman's doing that. And if you bring a commander triple vet, it's like, oh my god, just mowing people down. What else wise? I bring plenty of AT. I bring both versions of the AT, just depending on what I kind of feel like I need, and depending on the deck I'm going against. Lighter AT for more like armor cars and more soft targets like AT guns and the assault guns. Like I feel it's better, but you know these AT guns can't go wrong here. I recommend bringing both these things. These things are like awesome CQC tanks. Use them as close quarter vehicles. They're only 45 points. They trade 1-to-1. You're okay. AP rounds only 105. APCR is 135. You'll pen anything pretty much close range. Really good. Recommend vetting your AA once, bringing them once in A and B, giving enough AA to cover yourself and shoot down some decent amount of aircraft if somebody's trying to air spam. But you want to play aggressive so they can't be building up all those aircraft anyway. I'll bring artillery and leaders in B. A for these little light mortars. These things are awesome. You can redeploy them wherever you want. And a 1v1 that's really key to be able to redeploy mortars. And then I bring off map and B just in case I need to push up something. Fighter wise, I rely on both the Cobra and the lag. I don't bring the lag thing. I just use these as both fighters and bombers. And then I bring the Cobras because these are also great fighters as well, and they can use as rockets. So I just use them as both those two as supplements for more fighters. Anyway, I really recommend playing this deck. Again, more aggressive, but in more specific areas. You do not want to fight in areas. You want to fight in medium range. You do not want to get in areas where you're fighting a Panther and heavy deck in the open because you're just gonna get destroyed because you just have Shermans. And you don't want to fight CQC infantry like Sturm or 3rd Fallschirmjäger in forests and towns. You're gonna get destroyed there too. You need to find those spots where one is weaker than the other. Like 3rd Fallschirmjäger probably gonna be weaker in the open than this deck, and then you know the tank deck's probably gonna be weaker, and then the CQC combat. So this is what it's all about. And you want to trade pretty positively. So don't trade 1-to-1 with. I mean, you can pretty much trade 1-1 with other Panzer IVs and stuff. But like when you get the double vet and stuff, and you're keeping the leader Shermans around, you're gonna be trading much more effectively and keeping your tanks alive. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think about this deck, and leave some you know. Let me know what you guys want to see, what other decks you're kind of curious about, and I'll try to get to them. Thanks, guys.